of the intersection of art and so I'm going to go to the beginning here. So one of the reflections, and Jamie may have others, but one of the things I'm going to ask us to sit with is to recollect a time when there was um, no self judging. There was no one in the way of you and the experience. There was no mind that was evaluating or judging. You were so completely absorbed or enraptured in the experience that there was nothing else. Right? You in full, complete connection. And for me, that could be maybe a moment I could recollect is cutting the raviolis with my grandmother with a fork. And really, at 8 years old or six, thinking the tines had to be sort of perfectly lined up. And so there was complete attention. There was complete presence with the dough. The placement of the fork was uh, purposeful with some deliberation. I was 8 or 6, so I couldn't get it right, and it didn't matter. So the judge, the demander, wasn't there. It was let be with um, this here. And I remember it still because of that whole quality of mind and heart. And the whole heart was in it. In what way do you imagine? My whole heart was certainly in it. What was the heart part to you? Well, think about it for you. What's the heart part? The whole mind meaning one's attention, but there is something else critical. That's right.
I can remember teaching third graders, calligraphy, and it was like they'd never done it before, so they had no idea that it was difficult. But you get somebody in their teens and they've already had script writing or something, and they got all these, they had all these things. And that's why I was going to say about art and mindfulness. It's what we need to be reminded of every single minute.
Yes.
Is that to be able to do.
Yes, to create. And there's a creation in it, isn't there? Your arrival this moment is a co-creation. Isn't it absolutely? It's the you and all of this. And it's interaction, intersection, interbeing. And then we get in the way frequently by, I've got to do it like this. And what does it do? It kills whatever aliveness now, whatever presence now, whatever joy. Well, that's for sure not showing up. Whatever, right? Like, because you just got to get the toothbrush and then you put it on the same toothpaste and you stick it in your mouth and you go to the right and you move to the left. Well, there is a dance there, isn't there? Really, there is the possibility of the dance in everything. And we're going to make sure, we're going to practice how not to get in the way of it. Felicia does it with flowers and with, right? I do it in color. Other people do it with cooking or maybe the way you wash your dishes, right? It could be a simple everyday, couldn't it? Activity now made extraordinary. My grandmother made hot chocolate for me and toast in a way that was like a performance. Not because it was for someone else, because she was so invested and it was so wholehearted. It was beautiful, right? It becomes beautiful by the presence of it and her intention in it. Again, sweeps me up today, today. And I was 3, probably. And not only is it the toast or the cocoa, because it certainly isn't now left to the result, is it? There's the quality of her that was in it. And this is the truth of art. right? There's a quality in it that you have brought to the experience that we're going to practice. Yes, Anthony.
I'd just like to contribute something, which is that heart connection might have something to do, and sorry if this sounds a little esoteric, but coming into alignment with something that's already in existence, and we as the artists are just the channels for
Yes.
bringing that into existence.
Yes.
As a musician, I've experienced that a lot where, I don't know where the song comes from.
That's right.
It just shows up.
That's right.
And it's interesting for those who haven't yet seen it. There's a fantastic documentary on Pee Wee Herman.
I have seen it. I didn't watch it, but I saw it.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, it's something like Becoming Pee Wee Herman or something like that. It's fascinating. He describes how the character, like, literally
Emerges.
He never made it up. It
Yes.
just came to him.
Yes.
And so too with the with the content of the movies and the shows and stuff. It was like we were just. It was kismet. We were just like acting as these sort of channels for
Yes.
this material to come through.
Yes.
So,
That's right.
the baking, the painting, the song, when we are not the doer, but we just allow the act to happen, I think that's where that greater connection is built.
That is no doubt. So the last thing Anthony said to summarize is when we can let go of the doer, and I would also say the doing, right? This idea of product, this idea of outcome, this idea, but rather be wholly in the experience. And you know it like I know it, don't we? That is great music. That is the most amazing, and it holds. Isn't it incredible? It doesn't. There is no diminishment of it. It stays really in us and enlivens us. And we're going to recollect those, and then we're going to go have fun with those. Here's what a few folks have to say about this art. Art and mindfulness are not separate. Art becomes a vehicle, a conduit, a connection, a co-creation for presence, awareness, and the wholly available, compassionate, loving heart. You can't leave it out. And as analytic as it then becomes, or as beautiful in the analysis, right, perfectly aligned, there is something deadened. You do our art fairs, anybody ever do art fairs? And you go, that's beautiful. But it's not, it doesn't compel me. There's not an aliveness in it. Gorgeous colors, perfect alignment. Really, somebody studied this intently, and not less beautiful, I might add. But it's now a production. And it doesn't have the same. I go to the art fair every year here at the Del Mar Fair. Guess where my favorite art is? The kids. The kids. I would buy that kid's art well before I would buy that professional's art. It's raw, it's present, it was just there. They don't even know why. They liked it too. It's up there, right? How spectacular. If you haven't seen it and you have an opportunity and you have kids, I would say this is a beautiful. But so we know this about art. There's a thing called flow state. Anybody know about flow states? It is such an opportunity for the inquiry of flow, right? This confluence of me, it, everything, opening, don't know, right? Just happening, the river in its flow, and you as a part of that. There is something called mindfulness-based art therapy. I don't know if anybody knows about that. It's, a mindfulness-based. It's actually a certificate program. Yeah, wow, there you go. A lot of production, probably right there, and about 20 grand. So think this through, folks. Mindfulness-based art therapy, of course. Well, of course, we just said it. We know why. And in fact, when I get someone out of a program, you know what the number one thing they tell me was the best? The art and them in it. Not the group, not the art. There I was. And then they've allowed it to be because what was ever there was so present, right? The art. It's very consistent, by the way. And art therapy, the very best expression experience. The research says this: all art, when done with these qualities of heart mind, reduce cortisol levels. The stress hormone is reduced. We know this. I hope for this today for you. It increases a sense of empowerment, self efficacy, an agency and authority in connection to life, not just to the art. I am a co creator in this experience, and it's very empowering, right, as a result. And there's studies. Increase in mood, of course, we know this. Increase in non judgmental awareness and curiosity. You become more interested, curious. How do I see this? Can I see this in a new, what's the new way to experience and see this? The neuroscience says this: creative expression activates default mode networks associated with self reflection and meaning making, as well as salience networks connecting body, emotion, mind together. The whole of us is drawn together. Zen and art. I don't want to say too much about it. I don't have a lot of experience, but of course we know calligraphies are a very large part. Ikebana, I know, is frequently a meditation, not just placement, right, of flowers and other. The tea ceremony would be another example, an actual art expression experience. And so in the Zen tradition, we know Roshi Jones, dear friend, the calligrapher, Carrie, I've forgotten his name. Kaz, Casey, does beautiful, right, calligraphies. Really, he's amazing. And then Dogen says, from the many centuries ago, to study the way is to study the self. To study the self is to forget the self. To forget the self is to actualize the myriad things. It is not just self born anew, it is everything. And then you know this because that I, new, fresh, completely, right, available from letting go of ideas about me, not just ideas about it. And in fact, I will tell you, I think the greatest aspect of art is the capacity to let go of that self. The doer, Anthony said, the judger, the performer, the pleaser, the get it righter, the look like I've got it going on, or whatever we bring to this. It is, in fact, that, isn't it? Letting go of all of these ideas about self so that we can truly co-emerge with this amazing present moment. The Buddha said this, and then we'll sit. Just as a skilled painter or his apprentice with wisdom and skill would paint a picture, in this same way, a practitioner knows the body as the body, knows thoughts as thoughts, knows heart as heart, and lets them all be. And lets them all be, right? The instructions for life are actually right here. So then we'll sit. Yes.
Something that I might not have heard, but dance.
Dance, of course.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do every day.
Yes.
I was watching your hand, and I was just like,
Yes.
there it is.
There it is.
There it is.
Right. And then when we try to dance, right? Think about that. Or we are so afraid of moving that we try not to dance, right? And you know them both, right? You know the person who's just going like this because, like, I don't know how to do this. And then there's the person, right, a professional on the dance floor. We have one right down the block from us. She's actually a nationally champion tango dancer, nationally awarded tango dancer, right? How amazing. Everything in this construction. And yet, something else. Because the same dance, right? Like, oh my gosh, how unique. Same steps, identically, right? Because they have to do that version. And like, wow, nothing the same. Like, just something is on fire, something else is soothing and soft. It was the same steps. It's just beautiful and then mind blowing by its, right? It's our willingness. Okay. All right. So we get this idea. Yes,
Sorry, I
Felicia.
was gonna just add one thing. When I went to the wellness center for a month, for like, we were dealing with group and individual trauma therapy and all that.
Right.
And that was like, everybody said the only time they could really feel like you're out of your mind was, so it was so refreshing to have that art therapy,
Freeing, right?
because you didn't have to be up here.
There was nothing up there useful.
Yeah.
All that old thinking gets solidly in the way, right? And we frequently can't allow it, right? It's fearful. We're afraid to allow this, getting the mind out of the way so that the, we'll call it the larger mind, the emergence, Anthony said, allowing it to be. Okay. So if you're in the area, you may want to get over here by 8 something. And if you're not, I hope we can offer some instructions to you that you could practice at home. All right. And so just finding, we're going to use the eye door here for a minute. We're not going to close the eyes. The art is inner and outer, of course. There is no place or space. But I just want you to place the eye on something new, fresh. I see some moisture. I'll just give you an example. Some drops just hanging from part of a branch, and it's glistening every once in a while in a way that's striking. So I want you to grab that image, whatever it is for you, small or large. Let it capture you instead of you finding it. So you might want to scan or screen a little, because you be careful of the mind that's finding. That's a thinker. We're going to discover, which requires a letting go. And then you start to see beyond this thinking mind, and infinite possibilities. But after you look around, just pick one and imprint it a little bit. We're going to play with it. And then breathe in the inspiration. And there are 2 images that have kind of captured me. And I'm noticing they both have a sparkle, a shine to them. I'm not sure if that's me or it, and it doesn't matter. And then we're going to begin to settle the eyes, let them soften. I'm going to strike the bell to then invite the art of hearing, the art of hearing. And then you're going to use all that we've just talked about to see if you can hear as well, using the sense door of hearing, art unfolding. And then resting back, settling the body, and arriving as fully as you can just here and now. And in this particular inquiry, we are not going to focus on a particular object at all. And so it's best to rest back in this vast open space, just allowing the breath to be natural. Settling the mind into the body, and with each breath, opening wonder, awe, curiosity, inquiry, discovery, as if you have arrived for the very first time. And then remembering before we begin that your heart mind is as vast, as open, as fresh, as new, as yet undiscovered. There is no old me self here. We have to reconstruct it. And so we're going to hesitate to do so that we can discover what is in the co-emerging. And then I'd like you to recollect your image. You'll be able, there's a kind of snapshot. Uh, it's not precise, it's not exact, and there is no need for accuracy. The imprint you have is the one to work with. And then we're going to find a piece of blank paper in your mind, a blank space, and we're going to put something on it with this invisible paintbrush, this invisible pencil. I have decided to pick the face of the Buddha from the statue that I just connected with. And of course, there's infinite Buddha faces. This is not it. But there was some striking qualities to this. And so first recollecting color. What colors were you aware of as you were drinking in this image? And so we're going to set a palette. And of course, we don't ever limit the palette to the colors that the eye saw at all. And so in my palette, not in the image, I have selected golds and blacks and whites and maybe even a little silver because of its shimmery quality. That's what struck me the most. Colors. And of course, you could change this at any time. There is nothing fixed or stuck. There's nothing permanent in this at all. We can make colors from the colors, of course, and we likely will. And then pick up a device. Maybe it's a pen, a pencil, a brush. I'm picking up a brush. Just something to play with. And then, if you would, um, investigate texture, shape. You have not found this image by accident, and it has been made available to you not by accident either. And for some people, the truth would be, of course, we would in no way be limited to a medium. We would in no way be limited to textures or just for the exercise of reflection. We're just keeping it simple. And then keeping that image in mind, uh, I would like you to begin to paint, draw, uh, sculpt, whatever is right for you. I would like you to let go of the idea of the image now. We can place that aside and simply create your experience. And the first thing that happens for me, I went right to the gold because that's what was most striking. Uh, I created some just two big sweeps of eyelids. Nobody would know what those were. They look like arcs. And then the second thing that struck me was this fine lined nose. And I've got a black line. And you're doing this with your image experience. There was a heaviness to the lid, and so I have extra dark color at the bottom of that gold. Maybe yours is a dot of a leaf, a mixture of greens, maybe not leaf shaped at all. And for just the next several moments, you're going to play with this invisible art experience. Reflecting on the image and letting it go. You have let the image inform you, and now you are informing, creating, co creating its imprint, its impression through expression. The thinker just showed up for me going, well, nobody would know it was a face if I didn't draw the lines of the face, and I caught that and let it go. Nobody else needs to know anything about it. There's a curvature to the mouth that's interesting for me. And the thinker has come back and gone, ooh, that's going to be a tricky line. And maybe one I don't really know how to make. And remember, in the inquiry and the investigation, I can smile at that and go, it actually isn't the point. The striking curvature is, it has captivated me. I may not even put it where a mouth goes. See if you can't pick up the hindrances that show up and solidly get in our way, make us one dimensional, box like, and limit us in pervading ways. And when you recognize them, see if we can't, rather than judge, condemn, or criticize, see if we can't smile and let it go. I decided, by the way, to put the curvature of the lip on the side of the face, and actually now they look like ears. There's no one way. And be watchful of the person that shows up, this quality of mind that says, I need an eraser. I need to get rid of that color. I don't like it. And see if we can't simply let it be. Being watchful of the liking, not liking mind. It will appear even in this invisible art. There is no thought that needs to be erased. And in fact, what do we know? They cannot be. Can they be incorporated, felt, sensed, known, understood? The judge, the eraser, the liker, often dangerous, always limiting. Add any finishing touches. And celebrate the process. The letting go of the perfectionist, the getting it right, the having it look like a thing. And what did this little reflection have to offer you? And seeing if we can cultivate those qualities of joy, of liberation, whatever the result. The creativity, always here, said Anthony, always available, always present. And then we're going to let go completely, letting go of the image, letting go of the art expression. Enjoying the beauty of you, in it, and vice versa. Co creating every breath. Anybody notice anything? Did you notice that whatever you thought you were going to do, you didn't quite do? It didn't quite go like that? Anybody catch the, wow, this is, my Buddha face, I'll tell you just as an example, my Buddha face turned into Hitler. Um, yeah, the black line actually became the mustache. And the mustache then became the hat. And what I saw was, even in these moments, even in what looks like complete evil or horrible, there is the possibility of Buddha nature here. I could not have imagined that. I could not have imagined that. And there it was. Now, I don't think that's totally accidental because I have felt like we're in a time where some of those realities are once again here. So we are also in the experience of, right, our moments, that showed itself. That showed itself. I never thought that. And yet, there it was. Now, certainly, if I put that in an art exhibit, that would be a very interesting, right? Somebody'd go, that's an interesting, it's still got the Buddha ears, it's still got the Buddha eyes, and this is a kind of interesting little thing. The curvature of the mouth turned into just one big. And can we let it? Can we let it? It takes a certain kind of bravery, doesn't it? To go, I don't know what happened there. I even that's where the eraser came out. I went, oh, that didn't work out. I accidentally was looking for a curvature of a lip, and I ended up with a Hitler's mustache. And I let it talk to me. Right. So there's no eraser. I think I should paint it. I think I probably should paint it. And then let it be. Right, whatever that is. We may have that opportunity. Who knows? I don't know what we're doing today. I'm so excited. 5 people have said, you don't know. Really? No, you don't know what you're doing. My husband was like, aren't you supposed to know? I was like, no, I actually didn't feel any need to know at all. And even if I thought I knew, how ridiculous, right? See, the minute you think you know, how ridiculous is that? Anything, other experiences? Anything anybody wants to share before we get ready to go into our art? Yes.
As you were guiding us to maintain that image in our mind, and then to start to produce or create. Naturally, I think having some knowledge of art and creation really can be that blocker to the flow, to the creation, that heart-mind beauty, right?
Yes.
And then I got into the process. Oh, am I using pastels? Am I using watercolor? And it was to me, it became this whole analysis of process that was a complete blockage.
Yes.
And so fascinating.
Isn't it?
Because even though the instruction or the invitation is, oh yeah, so all about and that's beautiful with any kind of activity that you can be in flow and mindful of, right? That once you get into the how and the procedural, it's a complete block. And it was just
Yeah.
kind of funny.
Yes. It's very good to know, isn't it? Because you can feel the suffering. By the way, folks, can't you? You felt it. The eraser in you, the gotta know in you, the gotta have it be in you, always limiting in a way that we do constantly, as if it's planning, thinking, right? Not so much, really. People travel this way. I don't travel with them, by the way, anymore, which is we got to get here by blank. And then we got to do these 5 things. Then we got to get back in the car, and then we got to get over there, and then we got to do those 9 things, and then we got to. You have to wait to go to the bathroom. You can't go to the bathroom, so we're over there, and then right, and whatever else that is, it's not fun. Whatever else it is, it's efficient. Maybe I don't even know. I'm not too confident in it. I'm not confident. And it's certainly not enjoyable, and I'm certainly not repeating it. Right? I'm not. I just no, not doing it. Not in the car with you. You're just not. I love you. No, we're not doing that. Why? Because everything that feels possible, fresh, interesting, curious is deadened. To the plan, to the way, to the gotta, to the timing, to the you can feel it. Can't you? Don't go. Don't please, don't even do it. And then we do things like, miss the train. get the tire flat. Whole engine dies for Libby and I in Utah, becomes an amazing part of an most incredible trip. The most incredible trip called, we're just going to go over here because we can. Oh my God, I would have never done the petrified forest, by the way. I don't know what it is. I wasn't all that interested. The word petrified was not that interesting. Truly amazing. Right? Like petrified, I don't know. They're right, stiff things. I don't know what that. Dead things. Completely wrong. Completely wrong. But what do you know? Who needs? So we're going to go play and investigate and explore. I'm turning this over to these Jamie, who already does this for a living and for love, I'm sure, as well. And then I hope we have a very good time. I'm going to get out my, oh, these are interesting banana nut muffins. Chris is over for a muffin. See, I'll get you here one way or another. We do have coffee. We have hot water. But I really want us to first attend to Jamie's instructions or anyone else's who have helped construct this for us. So Jamie, I'm handing it over to you. I'm coming off of Zoom now, guys. Thank you all. This back. I'm going to let Jamie tell you a little about it. Yes.
If it's a good time to like
Let me
take 5 minutes because we also need to bring chairs
down.
So I wonder if we like
let's
start
do
in
it.
5 minutes down there and I can give a little introduction. And
That
then
sounds
kinda walk
great.
us through the
I'm
beginning
going to
stuff.
bring the Zoom down there, by the way. So we're going to take a 5-minute break. Then we're going to go down and hear what Jamie has to say about this possibility. And maybe you all can do it from home. I love that idea. Okay, we're taking a break.
Maybe I can say to the Zoom people.
Yes. Zoom people.
Since we are taking like 5 minutes, if you want to grab like any piece of paper and any writing utensil, you can do that now.
Okay. Simple instructions. We can do it. All right, everyone. I'm clicking off. All right, everyone. We're back. I'm bringing this Zoom down for you all. Those who have hung on, thank you so much. This is Tucker. Everyone.